Alrighty, we did shoulder abduction, right? Now what would I do if I really wanted to measure shoulder abduction? What position would I start off in?
You said shoulder abduction?
AD, like doggy.
Supine.
Okay, supine. But what about his elbow? I mean, his shoulder. Would it be, what position would it be in? Somewhere in an abducted position, right? Somewhere. Alrighty. And what position would it be? What would I ask him to do?
Lower his arm to the
Lower
side.
it down. Okay? Lower it down. Alright? Or bring your arm to the side. Alrighty? Now, most people will have 0 degrees of abduction. Right? Right? Then yeah, most people do. Okay? We'll have 0 degrees. Very rarely will you see this arm out here. If it is, alrighty? Alright? What position is this already in? Abduction. Alrighty? So you're going to want to measure from what abduction is. So if they're stuck out here, whatever, 40 degrees, and they go up to 90, that's 40 to 90 degrees. Alright? 0 for abduction is something that's always going to be there no matter what. If they have a pathology in their shoulder, it's always going to be stuck 99.9% of the time somewhere in abduction. Alright? Very rarely in adduction. Because if I do this, what's this almost? Well, we don't call it hyper. We call it what?
Isn't it
Cross adduction. Okay? Can I measure cross adduction really well here? Do I have good landmarks? No. Okay? Looking at the landmarks we've been using. Alright? If I want to measure cross adduction, I would measure horizontal adduction. So that's why we're going jumping into horizontal AB, AD. So what is the definition of horizontal AB or AD? They have to start at what? How many degrees of what? 9 degrees of shoulder flexion. So, one given thing already. If he doesn't have 90 degrees of regular shoulder flexion, I'm not going to be able to measure horizontal AB or adduction. Yes or no? Okay? Alrighty. So to make it, to shorten the lever arm a little bit, I'm going to ask him to bend his elbow. Okay? And keep it like that. Alrighty? At this aspect, what part of the acromion process would I be using? Anterior, lateral, posterior, superior, inferior? Superior. So I'm going to find his acromion process. Alright, follow his clavicle. And here it is. Okay? Alright? I would be using the humerus, the midline of the humerus, using his, that is his lateral epicondyle, alright, as a landmark, a distal landmark. What would I be using for my proximal? You okay keeping it up there so they can figure it out?
Sure.
Yeah. Where would I line it up to? Where should it be lined up to?
Trunk.
Yeah, the top part of his trunk, really. The top part of his trunk, using the base of the neck. Alrighty. Now, 2 things that you can do. Alrighty. I could keep it out here. Alright. But I'm going to be kind of far away from my axis point. Am I? Yes or no?
Yes.
Alrighty. Most people, it's going to be hard to tell. Alrighty. What if I just do this? And this. Is this still lined with the base of his neck or the top of his trunk? Yes or no? His proximal arm, the proximal arm. Is it yes or no? It is. All I have to do, use that imaginary line. Extend it out. Does that make sense? Okay? I can use a smaller goniometer. Alrighty. I don't use a small, you can try that. It sometimes can work if I use a smaller one. Alright, and most like that one I could tell probably not going to fit. You can try to do this. Alright, still it might get in the way. People don't like stuff in their neck. Alrighty, more for the fact why? Why don't people like stuff touching their neck?
Danger zone.
It's a danger zone. I mean, people feel, alright, things on their neck, this is very, this area, certain areas of the body are danger zones. You need to be careful. So I'm going to use a regular size goniometer, and I'm going to have the proximal arm lined up with the base of the neck, but I'm going to have it extended this way, so he's going to be comfortable. I use my imagination, okay, that imaginary part, Alrighty, still line up to the base of the neck. Moving arm, okay, or distal arm, line up with the midline of the humerus, the axis right over the superior aspect. Okay? Alrighty, so can you keep your arm like that for me? Alright, way to go. Right here. Okay, line everything up. Okay, now, midline of the humerus. This is still at 90. This is still lined up with the humerus. Alright, let me line him up a little bit better. Okay, he's starting at 0. You guys can see that, right? He's starting at 90 degrees, which is 0. Okay, line everything again since I took it away. Alrighty, alrighty, so can you, alright, we're gonna do horizontal adduction. What am I gonna ask him to do?
Cross your arm over your
Yeah, cross your arm across your chest, please, for me. Keep going as far as you can. Alright, line it up as far as you go. Okay, bring it away. Put your arm down for a second. So he went from 90, which is 0, 10, 20, 30, 35 degrees. Okay? Alright. Now for horizontal abduction, what would I ask him to do? If he's like this, tell me one easy instruction to tell for him.
Pull your elbow back.
Yeah, bring your elbow back. Oh, wait for me. Let me line up first. I didn't line up. Okay. Right. He's still at 0. Can you bring your elbow back as far as you can? Good. Right, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Good. Go, 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 go. As far as you can. Okay. That's it. Alright, hold on. Let me line everything up again. Okay. Alrighty. So, holding it still. Alrighty. You okay? Alrighty. So he started at 90. Alrighty. Well, he started at 0 and went to 90 to 0. That's 90 degrees. He went past it. 10, 20, 30, 40. So what is that?
130.
130. Oh, he has more actually. Sorry. He went to 30, 39.
139.
139. Does that make sense? Alrighty. Because he started at 90. Okay. Alright. I'll do it again. Alrighty. Okay. Base of neck. Line everything up. Okay. Alrighty. Everybody can see that this is either 90 or 0, right? Alrighty. So when he reaches here, this is going to be 90, right? Alrighty. Goes further, it's going to be whatever you add on. Okay? So on the count of 3, can you bring your elbow back towards me as much as you can? 1, 2, 3. Good. Go, 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 go. Switch my hands a little bit. Line everything back up. Okay, pull it away. Put your arm down. Alrighty. So this was 90. 100. 110, 20, 30, 35, 37. 137. Okay? So he started at 0 to 137. 0 to 137. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, I would like to let you know, in the clinic, some people, alrighty, will just sort of start horizontal abduction here. Alrighty? And in 90 degrees of abduction. Can you see why, if you start here, that you're going to have less horizontal abduction and more horizontal adduction? Alrighty? Alrighty? Since we're going by whatever the book says, okay? It says horizontal abduction and adduction is starting at 90 degrees of flexion. That's why we have more horizontal abduction. Okay? Because we're just going by the definition in the book. There are people in the clinic that will just start in this position and take a measurement this way and this way. Right? That's why in the book I gave you some variables in the numbers. Depend, because you're in the clinic, you will see it that way, and you go, oh, that's not what Professor Tom said. Why are you starting it there? Because in the clinic, in the long run, it may not make a huge difference, more for the fact as long as they're consistent with the measurement, alrighty, where their starting position is, right? So you need to be aware of things like that, what they're starting with. Because you're going to say, okay, if they have 100 something odd degrees, 100 degrees of shoulder horizontal adduction, you're most likely you're going to know that they started off in an abductor position instead of a flex position. Does that sort of make sense to you?
So how would you document that, like, if they're starting like
You're
that?
just going to have to go with it, unfortunately. If you see that, okay, like the amount of horizontal AB adduction is switched, okay, you're just going to sort of need to realize what their starting position. They started here instead of here.
But you would document their starting position, right?
Yeah, I would always document their starting position, okay? You would just need to know that.
How would you
okay?
say that, like,
I would just say, horizontal shoulder flex at 90. I would just write it that way, okay? Everybody's a little bit different in the clinic, okay? Depends on where you went to school and who happened to write that book. On the book, okay, it says the horizon. Because when we look straight ahead at the horizon, it's always like in front of you, right? So if it's in front of you, that's flexion. In the clinic, people do take liberties. Yes or no? If it's right or wrong, that's debatable. Are we good?
When you did the AB adduction,
Mhm.
how come
Regular AB or horizontal?
horizontal?
Uh-huh.
How come you didn't look out for his elbow dropping? Because when your elbow drops, you can get more range of motion.
Not really. I mean, it's fine. It's still up there. You still get the same amount. Okay? I'm making sure it doesn't drop down here. That's the thing. Long as it's up here, it's like this. And what else would I be careful to watch out for? 'Cause what's he doing right now? He's twisting his trunk. I would be more concerned about that. So if he's doing something like this, I would be concerned about. Because if he went like this, whoo,
then that's gonna give him more.
yeah, he's gonna get me way lot more if I don't pay attention. Okay, right? I would be more concerned about him twisting his trunk, all right, than anything else.
I thought you did like 30 degrees more, because I can stop here where I drop it.
No, but I'm still lining it up to the midline of the humerus. Okay? Right, questions? Yeah.
Do you always have to follow with them?
No.
Or, okay.
I'm doing it that way more for you guys right now. Right? What I need you guys to do is make sure you know what your starting position is, because not everybody starts at 0, remember. Like, he didn't start for internal external rotation. He was more in an externally rotated position. Alright? He was in 1 degrees of external rotation. So that's why I follow it along. Okay? But as long as you know what the starting number is and you know what your end number is, you know if you pass the anatomical 0, alright, if you're starting in the opposite direction, or the other side of the direction, then you know what you have to document. Right? A lot of times your goniometer does get in the way of when you start following it, alright? Because if you don't move far away enough, they're going to do one of these things to get it up there. Okay? So you don't necessarily need to follow it. If it helps you, right, to sort of keep an eye on the anatomical landmarks, especially like the axis and all that, because that's inside, then yes, follow it. Okay? Anything else? Go ahead.
And just echoing what Dr. Tom said, and also what he was questioning about, this is why, as per one of the 3 movements that you have to do first, you place the patient in the position that you want, and then you go across AD. I'm programming him to be at 90, as per what he was saying before. Yeah, he may have more flexion on, he may have more range here, but this is anatomically not correct because you can't measure this with your goniometer. So it's just little things that you will learn this semester to keep the position that you want. And also, Dr. Tom spent a lot of time with that manual that you're writing on to take away, memorize, and retain all the normal range of motions that you're practicing. when you're practicing your memorization along with the movement, okay, what's normal range of motion for this? What's normal range of motion for this? You need to know that, because we may ask you, most definitely your CI will ask you, oh, what range is this? And you can't, I didn't read that, no.
Mm-hmm.
No, so
Because they won't give you a goniometer. Just tell me.
she painstakingly revised that manual. So you must memorize and retain normal range of motion. Also, major and assister muscles. Major muscles, which is clearly documented there, and what are the assister muscles? This is your foundation to be a PTA. This is the language of PT. Range of motion, goniometry, manual muscle testing. So this is how you mentally create a foundation of studying. Oh, you read.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I said enough.
It's important.
No, that's okay. All right, before you guys go on break, okay, what, if I'm doing, passively, drop it, as best as you can, I'm gonna support it, and I like to be in the back of him, alrighty? Because it's just easier for me, and again, if I stand right here, am I violating his personal space more? Yeah, people don't like that. Alrighty, so what I need to do, as long as I have access to his facial expressions, it's okay. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do, I want you to keep your back as straight as possible, like this, you know. Try not to turn your trunk or anything like that. I'm gonna bring it across, okay, as far as I can go. Alrighty, and I'm gonna bring it back as far as I can go. Alrighty, now if I'm going across, what do you think the Enfield should be? You think?
Firm?
It should be firm, but it can be soft because of what?
Tissue.
The tissues. Again, that's that iffy one, alrighty? It really depends on the person. So say if you have somebody who happens to be very top heavy, alrighty?
So it's gonna be
Most
like
likely it's gonna be more soft, okay? Alrighty, if you have somebody that's not so top heavy and who happens to be very muscular, it might be firm. Okay, so there is that exception to the rule for horizontal adduction. For horizontal abduction, it will be a firm, and he doesn't seem to like this too much. A little annoying.
Because he has surgery on it all.
Yeah, it's no surgery.
So
You tell us this now.
now, okay.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt, but
Right,
it
relax.
doesn't feel It was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
so it's
Again, that proves the thing. You always need to be observant asking the question, asking patient questions. Okay. All right. Are we good?